that it is something that you maybe inquired about. Maybe I asked you to check it out. Maybe a coach on this call or somebody on Team Lettuce actually had you check it out yourself or themselves. But essentially, it's a very vague, broad thing because in my experience, and a lot of the coaches will speak to this eventually, it's different for everybody. So my background is something that I studied it. I was passionate about it. It was a struggle for me, just being healthy and being confident and all of those things. But it was a journey and something I worked on, and this came later in my life, but also probably was something that I always wanted to do secretly a long time ago. I don't know what my mom is doing. She doesn't know this is an important business meeting, but I'm super distracted. So anyway, what we are doing tonight is going over the common misconceptions, any questions you may have. But again, as a coach, I connect people with tools. Our team connects people with tools. We work on your goals. So whether that's I want to be slimmer, or I want to be, more toned, or I want to be stronger, or I want to have a handle on my food, or I want to, just be confident when I walk into a room, or I want to help others with health and fitness like I already do, but I want to have a toolkit that actually helps me with that. That is just under the umbrella of what we do. But again, it's different for everybody. So specific to how this works is we work on ourselves first and foremost. And a lot of the coaches here are walking the walk first and foremost, or if before they even feel comfortable to help other people, they definitely want to try the things out themselves. And they'll touch on that here in a little bit. But we encourage, we hold people accountable, we support them. And then we really just, again, I'm kind of a broken record, but we find out what somebody needs to work on. And then we connect them with a community, with the actual tools to make sure that we get after that together, our own coaching and support. And then anything else that you might think of, we might be able to help out with or connect you to, because we work on that ourselves. My Instagram is, I keep dropping my phone. But yeah, so what we do is under that envelope, but we do partner up with an incredible company. I don't want to ramble on because, again, I've been researching for the past 10 years as to who to work with and how to be involved in the fitness community, because my background is teaching classes and actually studying health and exercise science. But to get to the kind of root of my story is I always wanted to get on top of my health and fitness. I always wanted to be confident in that. And I struggled with it growing up. I struggled with my weight. I struggled with my confidence. I struggled with what to eat and to eat healthy and to eat healthy, but still carry weight and constantly feel like I was on a diet. And I also encountered knee surgeries at a young age. And I always wanted to be successful in certain things like sports. And I couldn't be, just all because of health limitations. So I think that's why I'm so passionate about helping myself. And once I figured it out, I had to help others. And so that it's as simple as that. When I felt like I had a path to follow and I felt really good about it, anything I believed in and worked for me, I would share with people anyway. And that's how this came about. And I don't want to go on and on because I could talk about it for 45 minutes, but I basically stepped into a fitness class where a woman was super confident, and whatever she was doing, I wanted more of it. And it was the person who ended up being my coach. So much like you guys are on this call today, she was the person who was like, can you hop on the phone with me? There's something I think you'd be perfect for. And this was like 8, 9, 10 years ago, like when I was first in college and exiting that. So knowing that I wanted to do more with health and fitness and actually accomplished finally what to eat, how much, what kind of workouts worked, I figured it out on my own and with other tools. But I actually started becoming an instructor and helping other people before I was perfect. And that's something that I wanted to touch on today, and a lot of the coaches will too, is that I was carrying 30, 40 pounds when I started teaching. And I knew a lot about health and fitness, even though I wasn't like a cookie cutter. And I still am not like this lean machine where I'm perfect all the time and I'm always showing my abs. Like if I'm showing my abs, I'm in a good season where I'm just on top of it. And there's other times where I'm not. And that's what this helps me with. But I felt confident about the company because, and the coaches again will share their skepticisms, but I was very nervous about it being a scam or a quick fix or too good to be true, or people just trying to make money off of me and not really care about me, and just all the things you might be thinking. I'm not even sure, but I had those reservations. But the more research I did in the company and what they were offering, the more I realized what the heck it was, how much science was behind it, how much research the team actually had, how bona fide they were. And that's a whole nother conversation as to the company and what tools are available, but they're awesome. And I continue to stick around with this company because I'm very picky and selective. And I had a full-time job that was an incredible opportunity for me. But for me to go into fitness full-time, I wanted it to be an amazing company that I'd be partnered with. And I didn't even know that I would do fitness full-time, but this is the company that helped me actually go full-time because possibility existed and there was opportunity, and I was able to tangibly work with the tools and the company, and then still coach and help and hold people accountable and create community. And all of those things were things I was trained on and also just I wanted to do, and these tools went together with it. So the company is a specific company that we work with, but all of the other things that I'm talking about are very just like grassroots tools that anybody successful helping anybody with anything exists. And we help you with that if you're not familiar, but that would apply to anything. But what kind of team are you going to be a part of? What kind of leadership are you going to be under? Who are you going to work side by side with? And then what kind of tools are you going to have to actually create results for people and have 30-day money back guarantees and are scientifically tested for years before they're even released? I'm kind of in that like logistical area of my business now where I know how solid it is. But I started off in the very beginning all about wanting to help people and sharing what worked for me. And at the end of the day, that's what it actually is still. It just comes down to going on your journey and using certain things that help you and sharing that with other people and doing that over and over again. So I feel like I've rambled a little bit. I've talked high level. I've also talked at the root of it. It really is helping people. And for me personally, I wanted to help the people that I taught and the people that I loved and want literally to see them be happy and healthy and have sustainable options. Like anybody in my family that I love is using the tools, not because it makes me money, but because I'll work all day long so that they can have access to those tools, right? Like if everything I make in this business is to support my family on those tools, like that's a win because I believe in them so much. And they work so well for me and those I love. And so any client that I take on, it's that same care and consideration. And that's something I think our team does a very good job of being very considerate with who we work with and why we do what we do. But again, Crystal and Josie, I definitely want to hear your questions because I know I've kind of rambled and I've shared a lot online, but I also wanted to dig into the people that are here on the call and share kind of coming from a misconception standpoint. Like we could talk about common misconceptions, or we can just hear from the coaches what the heck they thought of it when I first brought it up to them, and then why they actually joined and what they're doing with it now. So Mackenzie's here. So instead of having her be my awkward, like second head, I'll have her talk and share what she thought of, why she joined, and maybe a misconception she had. And scooch on up, girl.
All right. Getting situated. Okay. Hi, everybody. So yes, I am Maria's brother's girlfriend. Yeah. So that's how I was introduced to Maria. But I mean, I was kind of the same way where it was like my whole life, or when I was like, preteen age, I had put on a lot of weight, always going to grandma's house, getting the cakes and cookies and ice cream and all that stuff. And then like 4th through 6th grade, I was bullied pretty heavily for it. And then, kind of around like high school time was when I was like, I don't know, like just a couple of things happened. Like my grandma passed away, just like, like hard stuff for like a young kid to kind of deal with. And it was, then I like kind of developed an eating disorder as a result. And a lot of people like, or any therapist or anyone you talk to, they're like, that's a control thing. It's like, this is something I can control. I can control what I put in my body and like what I let out of my body, that kind of thing. So kind of getting past that, like my senior year in college, I just kind of was like, you know what, I'm over my eating disorder. I'm just going to eat whatever. So then I put a lot of weight back on. So it's like that whole, on, off kind of thing. But when I met Maria, she was doing all of these like fitness classes, and drinking this like shake. And I was like, oh, like, what is this all about? And I would go to the classes and I would have so much fun. And then she was kind of, talking to me just like one day, like, hey, I'm doing this thing. And I think like you would really enjoy it. And you'd be really good at it because you like come to my classes and you have great energy and you seem to be getting into it. So I was like, you know what, like, sure, I'll do it. I kind of had that similar fear, or like, and it was something that I just kind of recently realized too, where I'm like, I don't want to peddle this on my friends and then, them think like, oh, you're just trying to sell me something like everybody is. And I don't want them to think it's like a pyramid scheme or I'm scamming them. But one thing I thought that like, I kind of started, not believing that after a while, because I was like, I am helping people and that's really great. And, if I am helping them and providing them with these tools, like it's okay for me to get like a reward out of it too. Like it's not a bad thing. But one thing that our CEO said this last weekend was he was kind of explaining the difference between a pyramid scheme and like multi-level marketing. And whereas, a pyramid scheme, it's like someone's looking to make money without necessarily the benefit of somebody else. Whereas this multi-level marketing, it's like we are still helping people. And I just know like I feel a lot more confident as a result. And then especially with something like Ultimate Portion Fix, like with my eating disorder, sometimes like there's that part of you that like when you're eating all those bad foods, it's like I could easily go back to just like not eating or like binging and, that whole like thing. But I have that control. Like I'm like, okay, I know how much I'm putting in my body and I know it's good stuff. So, and I try to like, share that and put that out there with people too. I'm like, I used to have this thing but this is something that really helped me. And like, if you are someone who struggles with it too, I think it would help you. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very true. And she, is way better than me. She brings her cups to family dinner and I'm always, I think I secretly am friends, and then I sign up people and want to work with people that will be in my everyday life so that you guys can hold me accountable. I can hold you accountable. It's no secret. I'm not trying to torture myself and, hide from my goals. I really do surround myself with people who inspire me. And that includes my brother's girlfriend, but friend and coach now. So it's not separate, but definitely together, but also separate at the same time. But it's super awesome. So I love that you shared that. Who wants to go next? How about you, Chandra? We're going to go on the Brady Bunch line, and then Tamika, and then Susan.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to go. Hi, everyone. I'm Chandra here. Let's see. I met Maria, I think either through social media or through like the fitness network here in Indy. We knew a lot of the same people about 2 years ago. To give a little bit of background on kind of how I got where I am and how I started working with her about 3 years ago. Now, I had some stuff happen in my life and I had a miscarriage, and through that figured out that I had 4 different autoimmune disorders. And it was basically like, we don't know what to tell you other than the fact that that's unfortunate and this is just the rest of your life. So I did a lot of research into nutrition and different things that I could be doing from a fitness perspective. I had been doing yoga for a while, got really into that. And then about 2 years ago, Maria and I got connected and she talked to me about this program, not necessarily from just a fitness or just the shakes perspective, but just being a part of this community. I am a very, very skeptical person by nature. If you have heard of the 4 tendencies, I am a questioner through and through, and I do not just dive into anything, right? So for about 1.5 years, I'd say we met multiple times. I went to some of her classes, some of her spin classes, some of her events that she had. I did try different things about the shakes, but really what I did was dove deep and invested so much time into looking up every ingredient, Everything that they were talking about from a nutrition standpoint, everything that we were talking about from a fitness and wellness standpoint, and everything into the community to see if this is something that was going to fit with my lifestyle. I come from sales, and I'm a big believer, and I can't talk to somebody about something that I don't personally know. So last summer, I dove in head first and said, I'm really going to dive in and try this. I started my first program, did the shakes every day, started really looking at what I was eating. I come from the paleo and the Whole30 world as a template. So taking what I already knew and what I knew was successful for me, and then putting that, how I say, into a realistic lifestyle, right? I can't sit down and eat 3 square meals a day. I wish I could, but that's just, I'm on the go, and my sales, I cover an entire state. So that just doesn't work for my lifestyle. And being able to take things like the containers when I'm packing my lunches, or being able to take the shake and make my breakfast on the go when I need to, was really a life changer for me, and something that I could really talk to people and say, okay, I'm not here to just say, go blend something together every day and drink it because I said so. Let's talk about what makes sense for your lifestyle. Let's talk about what makes sense for your health needs that you have. Let's talk about maybe a community aspect that you need that you don't necessarily have. Maria and I giggle all the time. I am Mexican and Italian, and I've got lots of Filipinos in my family, and we eat so much food. That's all we do. And so being able to have a community of people that you can look to and say, hey, I'm having some trouble, or I just ate so much pasta, or, you know, whatever it may be, that in and of itself, even outside of just the basic drink a shake and do a workout, is so valuable. And it's something that we're able to use within the company that we're in, but we're also able to use just from a one-on-one perspective with all of our clients, all of our friends, our family members. I'm just like Mackenzie talked about, you know, I never wanted to call my friends and say, hey, could you buy something from me? But I'm very lucky that I don't have to do that, right? People that reach out to me and I do have these conversations with, we're not talking about, hey, can you be a customer of mine? We're talking about how can we work together to give you that sense of community and that support that you need to get to where you want to be in your life, which is a totally different conversation, why I really love being a part of this team.
Amazing. I take her with me everywhere. She hit the nail on the head. Like, you could tell she's a leader, but also very much her integrity is everything. And I love that. Again, I see myself in you in many ways. Even though I've been doing this for 8 years, I was very similar and still am. And we look at things not just because it benefits us, but, you know, what's the sustainable situation? What are we really doing? Like, just being intentional. And I love that about you. So thanks for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, Tamika.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm over here thinking about what I'm going to say and how to structure it. So that's how it's fun.
You.
So I met Maria. I'm trying to think because I'm not a time person. I'm not a date person. I'm just like a universe person. I think it was 3-4 years ago. I joined her size class, and I really loved her energy, and I really loved coming to the class. Like, I used to treat that class like I was about to audition for a music video or something. I was so serious in that class. I couldn't miss it. Like, I was making serious life decisions, like, but it would affect my size class if I go with you, because I was getting back into taking care of myself physically. Like, I didn't want to be fat anymore. I wanted to lose weight. I really wanted to be physical in my world. I have a sit-down job, and I try to move as much as possible because I want to run away from every disease that is in my family. Like, I don't want y'all diseases. So I want to do stuff to not get it. So she came to me and she was like, you would be great. You would be a great coach. I like your energy. I like your personality. And I was like, I don't know what this lady is talking about. Like, I'm here just to do my workouts and not really trying to inspire a whole group of people. Like, I just want to inspire myself to keep doing me every day and to stay focused. So I was like, oh, I'll talk to you when I've been into my world for a year. Give me a year. So around the time that my year was up, there was other people coming to me like, hey, you should be a beach party coach for me. And I was like, oh no, if I be a beach party coach for anybody, I'm gonna be a beach party coach for Maria. She already asked, and I like her energy. So then I kind of felt like the universe was pushing me there for whatever reason. So I was really into following the universe because I want to change my life, right? So I was complaining about not having a group of people that was living a fitness and health life that I was wanting to live. So when you don't have a group of people, you got to go find them. So I was out in the world looking for people, going to classes, and I met Maria, and I said, okay. And I like that when people come to me and say, I need you to talk to me, or I need your advice, or how do you stay motivated? How do you stay positive in it? When I go, well, I'm a beach party coach, like it's like they listen a little bit more than, I'm just doing it for myself. So I kind of like having that community and world around me, like, well, I'm a beach party coach and this is what we do all the time. And I am like learning all the information and staying active in that world. So I feel better sharing with you this information. I feel better saying, I have studied these shakes, kind of like Sandra, like I've been dived in it. I want to know what it's doing for my body because I really care about what's going in my body now. I still have those bad moments where I eat ice cream and chocolate, but I have a better sense of caring about myself. So I feel more empowered when I talk to people like, no, I studied this. I read about it. I watched the videos. I know what's going on with these shakes. So this is why I want you to get it. This is why I want you to do our performance line. So that's my background and why I love Beachbody, and I love being on Team Lettuce because Maria, and because I'm not like a real big seller and she's not like, you need to get out of my team. You need to go. Like, I can't have you dragging me down. Like, she hasn't never done that, even though sometimes I'd be like, oh my gosh, is she going to do it? Because I hear about other coaches doing that to people. Like, I'm not going to help you because you're not a top seller. You're not. But she hasn't done that. And so I really appreciate that, Maria. So I just love Team Lettuce. Like, I'll get a tattoo. Team Lettuce for life.
Awesome. I'll remember that. I miss our size dance parties and
yes.
workout Wednesdays. I don't know if you can make it, but
I will be making some workout Wednesdays. Yes.
Awesome.
I need Maria energy at all times.
Well, I feel the absolute same about you, and I will say Tamika's being very modest because how much I know it's just a side information that you've lost. How much weight though?
I think I'm up to 140 pounds. Yeah. And so when I go to the doctor in July, I will have like the real base number. I know sometimes I forget. Thank you so much. Sometimes I forget that that's a big accomplishment in itself. Like, and I'll be like, look at me.
I know, you're so modest. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
We could dive into that for a whole nother hour as to, a million things about that, but it is amazing. And again, it's just every time I hear people's stories, and I've heard them already, I was like, I just want to hear more about it because it's amazing. And that's why I love this. Like, I could be talking to people about their advertising, and I get fired up about a lot of stuff. So not that doesn't fire me up. Like my old job, I worked at a corporate company for 10 years selling advertising, which was really cool. And I learned a lot and loved it. But there's something special about this. And that's why I'm on a team call on a Sunday night before Game of Thrones. Like, that's just fun.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. All right, Susan. Are you unmuted? Little dead space here. We'll get there. Do you have your computer audio? I don't think you're muted. I just don't hear you. You keep working on that. I'll talk a little bit. You just let me know when you're good. But yeah, I kind of love that they're sharing the things that I probably wanted to share anyway that I could have gone on and on about. But again, Josie and Crystal, if you have questions, hold them tight. Any questions that come to mind now that we have some time? And we can get really into it too.
Any questions?
No questions yet?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it all makes sense to me, so.
Cool. Brenna just joined, or maybe you've been joined. I just Maybe you've been joined. I don't know if that's correct grammar, but awesome. Brenna, so what we just caught up, I don't know if you noticed it, but we were just sharing our stories, why we joined, what we were skeptical about, and kind of just condensed it, but go for it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll apologize in advance because I'm fighting some sort of allergy cold. I really have no idea. One of the benefits of Beachbody is I never get sick anymore, and all of a sudden I'm sick. So,
Right. It happens to all of us. It's okay.
I swear, like I've been healthy for like 2 years strong, and Braden had a cold. I did mulch. I don't know. I'm like a mess.
Let's blame it on allergies. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it. I'm like, come on, like shake it here. But I guess I have been coaching 2 years now, and I actually met Maria a long time ago through a really close friend of mine from college who happens to be Maria's cousin. And Christy was sharing on her social media, just what she was doing with working out and, kind of improving her life. And she was also a teacher. I'm a teacher. And I watched her and I watched her and I watched her and I watched her. And I admired how outgoing she was in just sharing her journey. And I questioned, is this something I could do? Is this something I could do? And I was at a point in my life where I just desperately needed a change. I'm a mom and a stepmom. I have 3 kids. I had been through a pretty rough divorce. I had been a single mom for a couple of years, and I had been newly married and now had 2 new stepchildren in addition to my own child. And I had just gone through like a horrific custody battle and was just kind of at rock bottom. And I needed something for me. And it just kept appearing. And I knew health and fitness. I was always a runner. I was very into running, and that's kind of what I did to keep my sanity. And it just wasn't something I could sustain anymore, nor something I was really interested in, but I needed to do something for myself. And, I just jumped into coaching thinking I wanted to try Shakeology, and that was really why I did it. And I figured if I could get the discount, I could just try it and see what happened. And I said to my husband, I'm going to give it a couple months, and if I can earn my investment back, great. If not, then oh well, like I tried. And to anybody coming in, I would totally tell you that is not the mentality that you should have, but everybody has to come in at their own point and figure it out on their own. And I dove in, and Maria adopted me as part of the team because I was under Christy, who was her cousin, and she just kept sharing. And I was very intrigued by the opportunity. I jumped on the team calls. I met her team, and I was just inspired and motivated to go for it. 2 years in, I am still a full-time teacher. I teach high school math. I want out. I love what I do, but I've been doing it for 13 years, and I have a bigger passion in my life. I want to be home with my kids. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be run by a clock. I don't want to be stressed out all the time. And this is the opportunity that's going to get me there. I do it in the cracks of my time. Some days I don't know which way is up, but I've found a passion in growing myself as a person, sharing that, and just helping other people do the same thing. I've been surrounded by a community of people. I met Maria for the first time, like legit meeting her, going to Summit. I roomed with girls from Team Lettuce who I had never met. I went to New Orleans by myself and just went for it. And it was the best experience of my life. And I'm going back year 3 in July, and I can't wait to see everybody. And it's just a life-changing experience. Absolutely, it has financial opportunity. I have, oh my gosh, I don't even know. In the last 2 years, I've more than doubled my income, making a substantial side income in this business. So it's totally possible. It's whatever you want it to be. You just have to have enough belief in yourself and in the products and the programs that you can do this, and you truly can make anything happen. Hard work, passion, and just a drive to help others. But the community, if nothing else, you will be surrounded by people that care. I think in a world where there's a lot of negativity and a lot of just not great things out there, this is one place you can constantly count on people to support you. Doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. You'll go to a live event and you will be surrounded by the kindest people in the world. And for nothing else, if you don't make $1 in the business, it's worth it for just that. So whatever you want it to be, accountability for yourself, you know, an opportunity to share your passion with others, a substantial income, a way for freedom, for life, whatever you want, you can have out of the opportunity. And you just need to believe in it enough and go for it. And that's all I've got. I'm like coming off of an Easter dinner with my family.
So good. I swear we did not rehearse this. Like they're so good. Brenna, it's again, I'm like, sorry guys, this is a chance we're all connecting to at the same time. But I love you very much as a person and as a coach and a teammate and a partner. You've really continued to step up in this business. And I feel very much alongside me, or you've inspired me to continue to do what I've done. After our last conference, and this might be kind of foreign terminology, but we have this conference every year. And when I decided to do it, when I was in my green area of the business, I was like, I'm just gonna, similar to what some of these girls are sharing, I'm like, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna go to the events. I'm gonna follow what my coach kind of asked me to do. Like, I know what I want out of it, but I also see her dreaming of something bigger and building something bigger. And I don't know that I want that, but I don't not like it. I really like it. Like I'm curious about it and I like where she's going. And so I kind of just would follow her footsteps, you know, just kind of tenderly and from afar. But as I followed my coach's footsteps, I continued to dream bigger for myself and develop myself. And after this last conference that we had, I would go to all of them all over, like, to reflect. I went to Vegas, I went to Nashville, like I just went. But the reality is the more you research this company, and that's not the case for everybody, but for those that join this team, the more you research it and the more you're around it and the more you meet the team, it's hard to not want to get more involved in your own pace and in your own way. But it is something that with our last conference, I was surrounded by our team, and I didn't know that I would go full time into fitness, but having these type of people on our team absolutely changed the game for me and my belief of what we do and the longevity that we have and our actual impact. And of course, the income is something we could totally dive into. That's a very detailed conversation, tons of opportunity. But again, it's something that when you have these types of people, that's a whole opportunity with the community. There is just the accountability piece. I think most of us like have lost the weight or have had struggles or want to help people with their health and fitness. I know Josie and Crystal have very cool stories as to how they got into what they got into and why they want to be involved more. And some of it starts selfish and some of it is completely selfless. And then they go back and forth, right? You work on yourself, you help others, it helps you work on yourself. And it's just this awesome circle of support and inspiration that we just pass back and forth. And as we level up in our lives, I'm doing things I never thought I would do, but I wanted to do it, right? Like, I think I love to work hard, but I love to work. And I'm not afraid to say that now to people. Like, you're on a call on a Sunday night, you don't have to be here, but you're listening and you're eager to at least look at your options in your life. And that's not everybody. So if you're that type of person that's watching this recording or on this call, it says a lot about you, and you should lean into that in some way, whether it's this or something else. But not everybody's like that. And I am looking for people who want to help people, but also want to lean into, you know, figuring things out for themselves and being leaders in their lives and for others. So we train people. There's a million tools in specifics to what we offer. There's so much that we help people with. There's also so much that we help coaches with. Again, that's not to be worried about, but we can dig into those details and I'll help people with those questions that they have. And Susan, do we get any?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah. So cool.
Confused completely.
Yeah, we've got time maybe for one more little story and then I'll try to wrap things up and ask questions.
Okay. Hi everybody. I'm Susan. I got started because I went to school as a double major in health, fitness, and nutrition and dietetics. So I went to Purdue as a double major. I have a background of a lot of food allergies before I went to college. So in combination with learning about my food allergies and how to deal with them, a lot of high schoolers go through disordered eating patterns. And I watched a whole bunch of my friends, including myself, struggle with some of that. And so I just wanted to learn how to help people take a healthier approach, and how do we do this and stay healthy and keep everything on track. So I ended up graduating from college. I did not go on to get my registered dietitian's license for a handful of reasons. I didn't even apply to the internships, but I never lost my love for health and fitness. And I went through my own struggles of weight gain and weight loss. Come to find out, I had chronic fatigue and I was developing insulin resistance and I had edema. So I'm carrying a lot of water weight, which would explain why today I can button my pants and 3 days ago I couldn't. And 4 days from now, I can't again by like a whole inch. And I was like, that's not how fat works. You don't gain and lose that much in a couple of days. Like literally can't button your pants in 2 or 3 days by like a whole inch or so. That doesn't happen. Then I got diagnosed with celiac and kind of got reignited with my passion for more health and fitness as I learned how to deal with my insulin resistance and my edema. I fixed my diet, got rid of all of that on diet alone, and then got diagnosed with celiac and kind of got reignited into my inspiration to help other people with health and fitness as I learned about gut health. And I had known about Beachbody for a little while, but I was kind of like, I don't need that. I went to school for health and fitness, and that's what I did. So I ignored the opportunities for several years. And I also just didn't have anybody I really connected with who shared that with me and kind of shared the benefits. Somewhere along the line, Maria showed up as like people you may know. And she had her Remain Calm shirt on. And after cleaning up my diet as much as I have, I was like, I have to have that shirt because a healthy way of living has a new meaning for me. And so I just kind of started watching her. I've always been super skeptical too of all the MLMs, of like all this stuff. And like I said, I just had a history with dietetics. I'm like, I don't need that. But I also wasn't implementing my dietetics and the things that I learned to help myself prior with my edema and my insulin for a whole host of reasons. But I watched her for a while, like over a year. And occasionally, and I would reach out to her and ask her questions because of my nutrition issues. I couldn't really get on board with the shakes and some of the supplements because I had to research it. I had to get my doctor to approve it. And I was really hesitant as I was learning how to deal with all that on what to do. But every time I reached out to her, she'd just answer my questions. Sometimes she'd have a few of her own, never any pressure. And then the more I saw her post on Facebook, the more I was like, we're friends. This girl and I are friends. Like I resonate with her. A lot. And she was somebody I hadn't met, but I could feel her presence and her energy just through the computer. So like over a year or so goes by and I finally decided after talking to my husband, I think 2017 was the year that Beachbody On Demand launched as a streaming session. And when I got on, it was $99 for the year. I was like, why not try this? Everybody's been talking about it. I already know they've got some good programs out. And so I told my husband, I was like, I just want to see what this is. And I got on and I was like, there's so many amazing things on here. It was so simplified. It had everything that I hated to do about my dietetics class. Like, I don't want to put people on nutrition plans. I don't want to count their calories for them. I'll teach them how to count the calories and then I'm going to let them have it on their own because after like an hour of that, I don't want to do anymore. And I mean, really, customers don't really want to do that anymore either. They think they do, or they think they want to learn. And after like 3 days, they're like, oh, I gave up. Oh, it's too much work. And so Beachbody had simplified all that. The container system, when I first heard about it, was several years before, like whenever it came out, I knew enough about it to think, that's genius. I wish I had done that. I'd been out of school for like 10 years by then. And I was like, why didn't I come up with that? I had time. But so just in combination of how simple On Demand was and how easy to use it was and how just basic it was. And it took all the things I didn't want to do, but it was all right there for me to coach somebody through it. So in combination kind of with learning about my gut health and getting my diet back on track, I got all my passion reignited to want to help people again. And when I was talking to my husband about leaving my job or the potential to leave my job, I thought, if I want to coach people on health and fitness and nutrition, I'd be crazy not to have this as part of my tool set. And that was the beauty of it when I reached out to Maria. I'm like, but can I do my own thing? Because I kind of want to do this over here, and I kind of want to incorporate it over here. And she's like, yeah, I mean, do whatever you want with it, kind of like. Obviously, you have some rules and regulations to like not cross over so that you don't upset anybody, but that's not a big deal. It was pretty much worked around. So, but she was always super helpful, super friendly, and just kind of was like, well, you know, I'm here if you need me, and we'll do what you want to do. And so I've always really appreciated that. And there's some great people on here I would never have met if I hadn't decided to do that. And I love the new friendships that are forming, and I love meeting all the new people. And I look forward to bringing new people on here who like our team too, because I know that community is important. And I'm watching friendships fall away that, you know, we'd had for a long time back in school, and just lives changed. Nothing happened. It's just lives changed. So you want to surround yourself with people who are awesome. They have similar goals to you, because it makes it just easier to like, you know, get to know somebody and be like, hey, we have this in common. So.
Totally. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Susan, for sharing. Yeah, Susan was somebody who, the more I knew about the company, the more success I had with the business. And that's why I'm talking to you guys. Like, so there's a spectrum, right? There's the people who want to help people, but they have no idea where to start. This absolutely makes sense. And there's the people who have all the tools in the world, or who are already doing it, or think they don't need it. And I'm definitely that version of somebody who studied it, wanted to do something in it, researched everything, and it kept coming back to what's the toolkit that helps me be the most versatile and empowered and helpful. Like, I just felt like there was always something I could help somebody with. And granted, I love instructing and teaching, and that was my passion. And I kind of fast forwarded through this, but when I had a full-time job, I didn't monetize my fitness teaching back then. And 10 years in my city, it wasn't something you get paid a lot doing. And even now, personal training, all those things, I just had this long-term vision of being a mother. And I'm the oldest of 6, and I see how hard my family works. And it's not something that I wanted to be away for long or at all. But I was very successful in the corporate world. And even if I was a successful personal trainer or fitness instructor, which I still teach a bunch, like I still teach like 20 hours or whatever, I don't know that I'll want to do that when I have children. And that was a driving force for me, is I want to have options. And when I worked full time, I wanted to have options, and I wanted to make an impact, but I really wanted to create, selfishly, opportunity for myself to create longevity and success and not be capped. We can go into that whole conversation about corporate world and ladders and just diminishing returns and lack of carryover in your hard work in life. And that's a whole other thing that motivated me with this. Like, I definitely could create my own business and create my own model and sell my own stuff and create my own stuff and create my own workout programs. There's plenty of people who ask for certain things. And kind of like Susan, it's like people say they want something, but who's to know that that's necessarily the case, even though they're asking for it. I think it comes down to, you know, understanding what people need, having those conversations with them, knowing what you need, working on that yourself. And then it's kind of a nice fluid way to work on yourself and share that story with others and attract people like you, that are all so different. Like, you can see everybody's so different on this team, like background, no background, teachers, people who wanted to do their own thing but lost hundreds of pounds, people that studied nutrition, right? Like, there's just such a variety, but they all align with me for certain reasons. And it kind of comes down to just, if I'm taking away anything from this, it's that we all love helping people and we really care. But we're also kind of boss babes, and we want something back for that, and to not be taken for granted and to be walked over. And a lot of us are really nice people, and we've probably had a lot of that in our lives, where you work really hard and you don't get rewarded for it. And it shouldn't work that way. And that's where I love this, where you work on yourself, you share what's working, you benefit from it, you help others, you have all the support in the world, and then you have the community to work and collaborate with. And the company's been around for a long time if you want to research that further. But then when it comes to our team and why us, you know, we're friends, but we also push each other. We love to work out. I don't think that's a secret. We love to move. We love to have a good time. We love to travel, and we don't even get to hang out that much. I think we just, you know, we want to feel that sense of support and community. But at the end of the day, how can we help ourselves and help others in the process. And it comes down to health and happiness. I mean, there's a lot of options out there as to what you can do with your life, but this is the one that most aligns with me and where I want to go in life. Like, I really could sell anything now that I've built a following, right? Or you can build a following and sell anything, or work with anybody about anything. But what are my priorities in life, and what will they be 30 years from now? And that's where I loved this, is because it does push me to be the best person I can be. And the team is just continuing to do that, and even as we speak. So we've got like 5-ish minutes that, Josie, did you have any questions? I know Crystal said she didn't, but feel free to chime in if anything's unclear or you want anything answered.
Yeah. I do have a few questions, but I think I'll just send you a message. Because I think it'll take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So I'll just listen to you all.
Perfect. We'll appreciate it. I mean, it's definitely, we didn't dive into the logistics of it, but that would be the next conversation for Crystal or Josie or anybody listening, or anybody you guys have watched this call. It's like, what the heck do you do? Good night. What do you do? How do you do it? How do you get paid? How do you help people? Do you use links? Like all those logistical things. I can hop on calls with you, but we just wanted you to get a feel for our team, what we really do, like in a vague sense. But it's a specific sense all at the same time. Like, it just comes down to helping people and working on yourself so that you can better help people. But I appreciate Team Lettuce showing up tonight, and this is recorded, so you'll be able to share with your teams and your people. That way you can share your story. And Crystal, if it's cool, I can follow up with you after this. And
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us for an hour. I hope that that's not the last time, and that we'll see you many more times. Where is your hometown again? Are you in Indy, or are you?
I'm in Indy.
Okay, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. There's a lot of us in Indy. So where's are you downtown, or?
I am Northwest, so I'm probably like 6 minutes from downtown. So
that's right. You told me that. Cool. Well, hopefully we can all get together, but definitely send me a message and we'll go over the rest. So.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Josie. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Bye.